We are back. Well, I am. Peace. It's hilarious, yo. Yeah. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I appreciate all the things, all the lessons, all the planets, all of the everything. I'm just cracking up. Like, Joy was like, I was asleep. Oh, I know that's right. Get your rest, sister. Get your rest. Well, we are here for the Tuesday tea and bourbon. We'll see how this goes.
Here I am.
I know that's right. Stay right where you are.
I'm here. I made it.
Stay right where you are.
I was like, I got my alarm set and everything. I'm good. This is. Oh my gosh.
I was like, I think my sisters are coming on today.
Where's everybody else? I know Lucretia's got something else going on.
Yeah, Lucretia's got a class. Erica said she was coming on, so unless she took a nap too.
Today is the day. Happy full moon.
Today is the day. Hey.
Happy full moon.
Happy full moon. And all the other planets that are. Well, I looked at my chart yesterday and I was like, Yep. You got all kind of squares and what is it called? Quinquets and
Quincux. Everything is retrograde.
I got all kind of stuff going on in my chart.
Everything is retrograde.
So we are here for the Tuesday tea and bourbon. We here with all the retrogrades and all the planets going cowgirl backwards and wilding out.
That's hilarious.
And we are just over here like, okay, I'm just gonna sleep through this, okay?
You know what? I went to bed at like 8 o'clock the past 2 nights. I was like, this is fine. This is totally fine. And one morning I woke up at like 6 or 6:30. Maybe that was yesterday. I was like, oh, I'll get so much done. Beep bop. I ended up just like taking a run and then sleeping again.
Yeah. It's been that way, yo. It's been that way. Like the couple weeks before all the planets went retrograde, I was wired. Like sleep was like non-existent. It got to the point where it was like, all right, we borderline delusional here. Like I need to get some rest. So yeah, and then like the last couple of days, I've been just able to sleep. Able to get to sleep no problem, staying asleep pretty much. Still not feeling super rested.
Yeah.
So just really weird. Like it's all kind of stuff going on.
But gearing up for your birthday.
Yeah. Super excited about that. And that's another thing too. It's like not only, it's all this stuff happening on the the macro. Like I got all these microcosmic things that's happening on in my mini universe as I approach this 40th year. So it's like, okay, let me just really be cool, be patient, really listen and be loving on myself. So yeah.
Did you pull cards today for today?
No. I told you I'm not messing with them. Last time I pulled them,
that's right.
They were just like, I was like, okay, see, I already know. I just need to just chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I went to Eclectic by Nature today, and then there's another smaller shop down on Spring Gardens, like a small conjure shop, and I went and got some more herbs because I'll probably take a bath later after this. I was gonna go to sleep right before this, but that was my plan. I was like, oh, I'll get my favorite little cocoa drink and plan for my spiritual bath and write out some intentions for release.
Yeah.
Just knowing when to let go,
Yeah. My cycles are they're more reflecting right now. Like I'm really in that mirror reflecting part of the moon cycles, like with my own cycle. So I'm not really, the release is there, but it's really like residue of karmic things.
Yeah.
So just really being like, oh, okay, so now we get it. You know, now I can completely, now I fully get the whole lesson and I can let it go. Peace, me. I haven't seen you in a while.
Hey.
Yeah, and just getting the full like, oh, I can finally, I mean, I'm talking like lifetimes of things, like, you know, decades of things, and just super grateful for this time. And so just really being mindful about that and not, you know, like I was telling you before, I'm not trying to, I can feel the chaos around me. I can, you know, feel all the things. And I know because especially with like Pluto being a retrograde and Saturn, so I know there's going to be some karmic stuff that's going to come up, like, you know, macro as well as, you know, everybody going through their own stuff. So I'm really being mindful about where I'm placing myself and my energies. I'm not trying to push anything or force anything, especially my clients right now. I'm just like, okay, let's look at the cycles. Let's look at the patterns, you know, just revisiting some things because I mean, this is a really dark phase, you know, and where we have to go through this rebirth. And some people, that's the most fearful part because that unknown creeps around, or the things that they know we finally have to be faced with, you know, and deal with. So
Yes, I feel like, you know, I feel like everybody, right, is on their own spiritual path. Like, you know, we're all on one essentially, but you know, there's different peaks and valleys that you go through at different times. So everyone's on a different leg of the journey, different leg of the the 5K. And I have noticed too, you know, like in terms of like reflection, you know, there are things, there's like shadow work or my own root work and things that I've done over time, but then there are other things that have been reflected that are like, oh, that's the thing. Okay, I got to work on this, you know, got to work on this now. And let's see, my Pluto's in Scorpio, my Saturn is in Sagittarius. So I think that that's really interesting too. Like my Saturn return was all 3 years, and it had like lots of forward movement, and then it would go in through retrograde periods, and then it would have more forward movement. So I was like doing this dance for 3 whole years, and I was like, oh my God, please don't do that right now. Like,
yeah, those
don't pop in and out like that now. But you know, if that's supposed to happen, then you know it's just like revisiting those things too. So like if you think about when you were, if you're not around like 28, 29, 30, and you're well past that, and you know, you kind of like look back about what was kind of going on then, that might have some residual. But yeah, that was a trek.
oh yeah, the Saturn returns are very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I I didn't have, I don't know. I think that was, I was on the other end of my initiation with that, with my Saturn return. So I was still deep heavy in um the rhetoric of the practice, you know. So I weighed, I use that as not necessarily a crutch, but I like heavy on that. And so my actual coming out on the other end of that, and I think that's just reflective of me really being a moon child. It's like being on the other end, on the other side of that, is when everything was like, oh, okay. All right, now we got to go through this again because I didn't see it. Like I didn't see it at all. So yeah, now like yeah, approaching this 40. I mean, it's just a reminder that, you know, this is the life we live, and no matter whether we are practitioners, whether we are students, which we all are, no matter what, but whatever stage or, you know, like you said, whatever side of the spectrum we are on, we're always going to swing back and forth, you know, throughout our life cycles, because that's just the nature of this life. Like especially when I think about like why my yacht is so it's so prevalent and so heard right now, when we talk about like, you know, screaming for justice and, you know, really wanting our voices to be heard. That's all my. And so we think about the time periods in our life where we need that order, where we need that call for like, okay, let me sit down, let me weigh these things, let me really focus in on like how my practice has been or my life has been lining up with the things that I'm saying or the things that I'm doing or the things that I'm surrounding myself with or the people that I'm surrounding myself with, and how that's in alignment or misalignment.
Right.
And really, you know, really start to weigh that, because you can feel it. Like you can feel it in your body, you can feel it in your mind, your mental space. And so, and that goes through different cycles in our life. You know, when we move, we might switch jobs, we might, you know, leave one person for another or whatever happens. Then we got to start these cycles seamlessly, you know, seamlessly, hopefully all over again, or not quite as seamlessly, but yeah. So it's just a reminder that, yeah, it's just, all right, we're here now, you know, might be good for a little while, and then, you know.
I was trying to think about, you know, like what were the themes that I was going through my Saturn return, and it was really, I think because it was in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius was such like a later planet in the zodiac, and in the specific house that it's in mine, like this lifetime has been more of like a hi Sunflower, has been in a like a very spiritual quest. So in terms of my and in terms of bringing balance, I feel like there's this silent structure that was being implemented in me, where I was like really kind of like cracking open my own codes of like, what, you know, what's my why, what's my mode of operation. And then because of like life circumstances and situations and specific upbringings, I'd never had a true, you know, reflection. I think many of us don't, of like what's a really wonderful like role model, you know what I mean, to like grow up with and to, you know, instill these like very specific values, and to and that's kind of what was like breaking down, I think, in my Saturn return. It was like I already was like I already understood certain things as to like what it was and how the world operates, but you know, there were still like things that were chipping away from that, because it's hard. It's hard to say goodbye to familiarity, you know, whether it's like good for you or not, you know. And most often I found that it might have been good at a very specific point in your life, you know, like there was some like necessary structure or something like that. But then to really allow yourself to, I guess surrender kind of sounds like a heavy word, you know what I mean? But like, that's so true. It's just like, I have to know when to fold it. I have to know when to hold and when to fold, and like, just kind of, yeah, find that balance, find that inner balance. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's Saturn itself is the energy around like our organization, our framework, our structure, our discipline, you know, and all of those cycles in which all of those conditions, and you know, whether we were conditioned in certain beliefs and certain things that sustained us and gave us the structure that we needed during that period of our life, and then how that breaks apart, you know, or whatever, or how that sustains depending on the foundation it was built upon. Yeah, so mine was just really all about attachment, you know, and these really like these attachment, and what my concept of love was, like parental love, you know, familial love, you know, like relationships, other types of relationships, and also like attachment to ideals. You know, I idolized a lot because
Definitely.
you know, especially growing up in like religious type homes, or very protective Black family. You know, we have these codes, these ideals to keep us safe, but you know, those especially when you're talking about like going through the Pluto phases, those only sustain through generations, right?
Yeah.
So it's passed through generations. as the generations, you know, move forward, those ideals change, they shift. And so that's a big thing that I'm facing like right now is like, you know, especially with everything going on, is I keep having the same conversation with my elders. And I'm like, look, I like, look, like I literally had to tell my mom, like, Mom, like, I'm not, like, I'm not. And this is a conversation I've been having with y'all for 15 years. And why, when something else happens, we have to have this conversation again. And it's because I, you know, was on another generation that came in. It was like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not falling for the okie doke. We're not just gonna, you know, follow behind, follow along, do whatever whoever says we're gonna do. And that to me is like a big difference. Like in this, like as we came in this generation, between this gap and the gap before us, it's just yeah. And so how we do things is completely different. Ah, bless it.
How are you feeling today, like in terms of like balance? We just moved into the full moon energy. It's the anniversary of George Floyd. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I've been thinking about that today too, and just like, where have we been in the past year? I mean, even just the other day, I was thinking like, there are so many people, you know, who are back to business, you know, back to things as normal, and in my body still, like I feel like it's like absolutely okay to admit that there's still grief in my body. Like I obviously don't want to hold on to this grief and operate through in that lens, but like there is a place and a purpose for that, and there's room for expansion and growth, and you know there's room to like honor that, you know. And I was just thinking about that the other day of like, gosh, maybe I'm wiped out because I'm still grieving, or you know.
Yeah, I didn't ever get the chance to grieve.
Yeah.
Last year I went right into activism. I went right
Mhm.
into holding space. I went right into what I do, right?
Mhm.
I literally just, you know, this year is when I got a
Mhm.
chance to be still. And that was because of my transition and movement.
Yeah.
But yeah, today I told you you sent me that like that existential cat crisis. That's where I have been the last few weeks, and especially like today, I've just been like literally I would just be sitting there. My son is like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I don't know, chilling." Like I'm spaced out. And I have moments I'm like, "Am I disassociating? Like where
Yeah.
am I?" And my
Yeah.
mind just would be just. And I really realized that also right now I'm really heightening my creativity.
Mhm.
And this is usually when it happens and when I'm still enough to be able to do so. And so my mind is really disconnected from my body, which is why I'm focusing on like working out every day because
Mhm.
that keeps me together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't today. I've been seeing the streams of the year anniversary, and yeah, just saying it, I just feel this wave of grief, um, because yeah, I thought about making a post and I couldn't. I
Yeah,
was like,
exactly. Yeah.
I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to do anything. Like I just want to honor the last year,
Mhm. Mhm.
you know, of the catalyst that he is still, um and that energy is continuing to ripple, and that's just where I am with it. Like today I was thinking I even turned down some teaching things because I was just like, yo, I'm tired. Like, and not the tired of like, sometimes not even physically tired, just like, I don't want to do that right now.
Right.
I don't want to do that work right now.
Yeah.
And so and I had to honor that, and being like,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't want to do it right now.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel you. Like last year, exactly the same. Like it felt like it was autopilot. It felt like I think you and I both kind of like launched YouTube channels and we're just like doing the things, and you know, like there were instances of like, well, you know, like my family's not checking in on me, or you know what I mean, like mine specifically. And you know, there were pieces of it that I was grieving in the process of trying to figure out what this was influencing, like into my becoming of something else, you know. And so I think by God, I think maybe by like October, November, I just felt like total goo, you know, like chrysalis goo.
Yeah.
And now it just feels like, actually, a friend of mine, she was posting about cicadas today, and there's this like you know, like this brood that's like, I guess cicadas take like 17 years or something
Yeah.
to like, you know, unearth, and they're about to
Yeah.
again here in the South, and I've missed that sound so much. But you know, she was posting about kind of like what they mean, like more so like resurrections and fertility, and
Yeah.
you know, just like this new wave of sound that's coming back into effect. So I'm really
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to that, and I'm like resonating with that feeling of cicada sounds.
Yeah, that makes me want to just like schedule a camping. Maybe we'll have to go camping. I'll come up there and we'll go camping. I haven't been in, you know, I did that trek across country, and I haven't really been in the last year or so. But like, oh, okay, got that up my system. Um,
Go
but
to
yeah,
a waterfall, please. It's, you know, this weekend's like Memorial Day weekend, and
oh yeah,
I had some friends invite me to go camping, and I was like, nah, like it's gonna be too peoply in those woods this
yeah,
weekend.
definitely
Well,
right now.
I'll wait.
Definitely right now. Yeah. It's been interesting. And just even as I say that, like my whole accountability around not grieving the way that I don't want to say I didn't necessarily grieve. I didn't grieve. I didn't stay still to grieve. I didn't sit with my grief. I literally did
Yeah,
a whole session where I did moving through grief because I was
right.
holding space for activists, for those protesters. So so we had to move through our grief. Like it was just like let's move the body, let's move the energy, let's talk about it, let's get out because we got to get back out there.
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, so yeah, now is like the time where I'm, you know, not only just sitting with that, but sitting with the other things in my life cycles that I didn't get a chance to sit with, that I just had to move through.
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, and it's not, um I'm in this period of it where it feels really heavy, and I think a lot of it is because I do know how to just like get out of my body for a moment, um but or just move whatever I have to do, and have plenty of support around it. And I think that's been mainly key, is like having the support, having the anchors, having the like, hey, I just want to
Right.
make sure I'm still here. You're still here. Like, we're still here.
You're just not that like cosmic cat floating in the
Yeah.
ether.
Oh, that video is so fucking funny. So,
You know who posted that actually that I found? Cree Summers. She posted it
oh
earlier
yeah, of
today for this.
course.
I was like, Lord.
I freaking love her.
Oh, Erica's in the chat. Hi. She jumping
Yes.
in? Did you jump
Oh,
in?
did you? I see you might have requested. Okay, there we go.
Hey.
Beautiful.
Drive. Yo, the technical difficulty today. What is going on?
Well, you know, all the things,
All the planets.
all the planets are going on.
My phone was like black for a good 20-30 minutes. I'm like, what is happening?
Good on Mercury.
Whatever, we're here now. Hello, what's up? How's everybody doing?
Hi, beautiful.
Good.
My amazing women, what's going on? What are we talking about?
We're good. Just talking about our existential crises. Oh, all the beautiful things about being human beings.
Those lists are long. Those lists are long. Man.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I'm grateful. How's your week been? How was your rest last week?
You know, My week has been pretty good. I feel like for the longest time I've been drained and haven't felt my energy back. And this week at least I'm like, I got it. We got some stuff going on. You know, I'm feeling very in my element.
Yeah, that's interesting. We both like the same because I was like the weeks up until all of the planets doing this thing. I was just like, I hate
yes,
like,
exactly.
I can't.
Somebody come help me because I don't know what the hell is going on. Like feeling like Lil' Kim at her concert. Like which way do I go? I just can't. Like I can't.
That was the perfect imagery. Which way do we go?
I got this.
Did I send the group chat Mary J with the lightsaber? Mary J Blige with the lightsaber? She's
No! That's how she be dancing like a Jedi. Don't let her fool you. She a Jedi in these streets. So what y'all sipping on? What's the tea?
Got some, I think it's that cocoa. It's that Red Dragon cocoa. It's got like hibiscus and raspberry and coconut water. It's just some little boba joint down the street. It's so good.
That sounds delicious. Anything with hibiscus, I'm like, that's delicious.
I know. Makes me want to go make my sorrel. I'm making that this weekend for my family.
Amazing. You've made that before?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna make that for them and make them some mushroom shish kebabs and give them some veggie stuff.
I'm coming down there for dinner.
Right, that's what I'm like. Okay, let me see what I can do to just set this up so I can be there. Cause
I know. It's so cute because my grandma always tries to figure out like what to feed me, and so it's really cute. So I was like, I'm gonna bring some stuff this time.
I feel like that's the plight of every family member. Once you tell them that you've gone like vegan or alkaline vegan, they're like, I don't know. Here is some twigs from outside.
Yeah, exactly.
There you are.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Like it's been almost. Well, it's been about 15 years for me, and it's still the same thing. So it's like, I don't know what you eat. And I'm like, food.
Right. Vegetables. Beans, legumes, the stuff.
It's cool. It's all right. I ate before I got here. You already know.
Right.
Or I brought something with me. We're good. All good, though.
How are you, Erica?
I'm good. I'm sipping on red raspberry and nettle today. Those two mixed. Yeah, so it's been that type of day. Just been taking it easy. I'm cooking okra for the first time. I don't know if you guys have cooked okra before. Never cooked okra in my life. I'm gonna try to make baked okra in the oven, and then I'm gonna try to make it like an okra soup.
Sounds good.
So good.
Let's just see where this goes. I'll let y'all know in the group chat how it turns out.
Yes, I'm like what was that? Like Bubba from Forrest Gump with the okra. Like I do okra, fried okra, raw okra, dried okra.
Really?
Yes. Ever since I was a kid, like I love okra. Like I love have dried okra. I was snacking in there earlier. Like I love it.
I've had it. Like one of my great aunts, she used to make a gumbo with it. Back when I ate meat. And it was delicious then. But now I'm like, I really don't know how to cook this on my own. So we're just going to try some things.
One of my friends I told recently that we were all going to go down to New Orleans, and he was like, you better switch up your palate. You better start getting used to some seafood again. It's like, I don't know what you're going to find down there. I was like, maybe I'll break and do shrimp and grits. I don't know.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with it. We get that.
It's 1 week. It can't be that bad.
I know. Well, it's been so long that I'm like, I wonder how my stomach will train with this. Been
It'll
like
be. I
2
mean, with
years.
seafood, it isn't. Well, depending, but especially fresh seafood, your body can
Yeah,
usually take to it
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
well. My
Red
body.
meat I haven't had in years, like 3 years or 4 years, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Joy, have you gone to New Orleans before? Like
No,
before? No,
that's
so
an
this is gonna be
announcement, you
your
all.
first time.
We're going to New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
We'll be
Yes,
in New Orleans
guys.
for a
Girls
We're gonna go to New Orleans.
trip.
So you all will see us together. We're gonna have put together a little something for the Tuesday tea, but yeah, we'll be down there. We're getting our vacay on. We were talking about it, hitting on here. So no, I have never been down there. I have literally for like the last few years, and several times throughout my adult life, scheduled to go and then didn't. Like for whatever, like New Orleans is that kind of like energy for me. It's like, nope, you ain't ready. Nope, you ain't ready. Nope. I was like, what? No, we're going. Like, no. So this time I'm like, I'm going. That's why I was fussing in the group. Like, I don't care. I'm coming. I'm not doing this again. I'm coming. Spirit said it's time. I say it's time. Somebody said it's time.
I'm glad you kept on top of it. It's my first time too, so
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're all gonna be on the struggle bus together, trying to figure out where to go and what to eat. Cause
Well, I mean,
Christian's got the plug.
Lucretia got it all.
That's true. I don't know why I didn't think about that.
I've got a couple of friends down there, but I'm excited to see where because she's right in like the French Quarter, like right outside of it, right? So that'd be
No, she's there, like right in it.
Like in it.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a whole 40th birthday thing for me, and we're gonna show you all the places, show you a little bit about the rituals that we're gonna do and things like that. But yeah, this is the lifestyle. You know, I was like, come on, we talk about it, let's do it. Like let's do it. We gotta get in our self-care, our self-love, our yummy things in as well. So and then we'll also be scoping out the place to see how we can bring in some business, do some business, bring some of our clients up and through there. So we'll see. All right, we got people. How y'all feeling? Okay, who's still with us?
Chat.
Let us know how y'all feeling, what you're sipping on, what you're thinking, what's your vibe like, what's your energy been like during these retrogrades and this full moon.
Oh, we got eclipses coming up too. Like,
yeah, when is the eclipse?
I think there's one. What's today? I think one is tomorrow.
I thought it was a full moon tomorrow, so it's an eclipse tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like a full blood moon lunar eclipse, and then July. Oh no, wait. June 9th? Maybe it's June 9th. There might be another one. June or July. Yeah. It's kind of back to back impact. So
Wow.
And that's what I think we've talked about this before, but like anything that's like coming into like the atmosphere, like solar flares or anything like that can have an effect on people. I mean,
yeah,
it could be anything.
All of it, yeah.
Our bodies just are not built the same. My mom and I were literally just talking about that. Like when you know, and you just have to be like, all right, I just can't move the same way. This affects me, that affects me.
Yeah, exactly. So how are you moving differently than when you moved maybe even a year ago or 10 years ago? There's certain things other than like diet we've been talking about that you had to change.
Oh my gosh. Other than like 10 years ago or a year ago?
Either or.
Wow.
I would say time has really like literally sped up. Like,
yeah.
I can feel it. I can feel it shift.
Yeah.
I agree. I do feel like that too. That time has definitely sped up. I feel like now, I just don't take it for granted anymore. I used to be a person who will wake up and just not, like not care as much. But now I'm like, every morning I'm like, okay, like I'm really grateful for this experience because I understand it a little bit more. But even I wouldn't even have to say how have I been different like a year ago, 3 months ago is even like, and even having like the union and friendships with you guys, like teaching me about rituals and like just being able to do things for myself and like creating new habits. That's been a big one too.
Totally. Yeah, I would say I've felt both of those things too, like the speeding up of time. 10 years ago, I think I was still like, I think I was still living in Greensboro. I had just moved. And it was just such a transitory time. It was like that Pluto Scorpio was really kind of like handing it to me. I had been through like a major accident and like all kinds of like health things. So 10 years ago was like the beginning of my reset of why, I was getting into health and wellness and honing in on my practices. And then like a year ago, it felt more, Joy and I were just talking about this, like that it wasn't necessarily a space to grieve. It was more like a, private time for like kind of having downtime and doing that, but then getting back out there and being, of service and support. And 3 months ago now, it's been more allowing myself that space to unwind. Even though time is slowing up, I feel like I have found a better stride for myself in terms of like the work that I want to do, the quality of work that I put out, like I don't want to just like, I think I'm grateful for the time that I have, but I'm more mindful about how I spend it. So if I'm here on a nap and Joy pings me, you'll see me on the live head on the pillow for a minute.
That's a good place to be. That's where you like nothing is urgent.
Yeah.
Good. If I don't put out the fire, you either gonna get burned or somebody else gonna help you out. Like that's where we at. That is where we at right now. Seriously.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, definitely it's been a full, like I'm in a full cycle. Like, this whole 10-year, approaching this birthday. This is like 10 years ago. I was definitely like, not necessarily a different person, but I was really at the brink of like, my like needing to break through, needing to really be intentional in like my practices and what I was going to be continuing to put myself around and and so many different things. No specific details. But if I like, and then I would say a couple of years ago, really just starting to be gentle with myself and understanding, okay, let me forgive myself for whatever past cycles, and really move into this place of radical acceptance. That's where I was at.
Totally.
And then the last year was just, I don't know, it was kind of complete service, dive into service. It's like I went from, holding space in one service, peace, to holding space and service in another way. And yeah, the last 3 months now it's like, now it's this full, like, how do I figure out the balance in both, really be intentional about how I'm of service, and not just throwing myself out there and anywhere and everything. And then how do I take care of myself? How do I continue to be gentle to myself and let that be a practice as well? So
that's huge.
Yeah, it is.
That's
continuous practice of like, Joy, like, you're good, like, it's all right. Like literally hugging yourself sometimes, talking to yourself in the mirror.
Just the forgiveness part alone, like, is huge in itself, even for yourself. We're not even talking about other individuals who you come in contact with. Like
Right.
that self-forgiveness is huge.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I need something stronger than this tea.
Now it's time for the bourbon.
I'm like, I might need a little bit of something stronger for this. Oh no, y'all. Feeling that little Kim energy coming back. Oh no.
I can't tell y'all, am I on here as my acupuncture page or my personal page? I can't tell.
As your
Can you tell?
Did you just leave a comment? You left a comment as your personal.
Yeah.
And it says it's personal. That's so strange. I don't know. I don't know. It's fine.
You asleep. You asleep. It's all right. You asleep. Yeah.
Yeah, I think out of these, I don't know what the retrogrades are really gonna unfold like for charts personally, like individually. But last night, Joy, I was excited when you saw that I just started. It was like a passion project, like kind of on the periphery for me, but I, you know, funded the domain name and got the IG and the Gmails and whatnot. So I'll be starting my own independent press, my publishing company. So that was like, oh, so that's so that's the like I don't know. That's like that came out of like from the 36th chamber. I don't know, but it came out.
Wow. Joy, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Here we go.
We'll see what the next 6 months brings for it. I'm really gonna try to. I think everything is just kind of happening again. Like time is speeding up so quickly, and I was just like, I gotta get on this. If I'm gonna do it, I gotta just do it. You know. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that the time being sped up has anything to do with age? Or do you, like, Joy, you having a young son, like, have you spoken to him about the existence of time and how he feels, like what it feels like to him? Because I'm wondering if it's because as you grow and you learn and you become wiser, you become more intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And then time decides to be like, oh, you're where I am now. Let's speed everything up. You know what I'm saying? I wonder.
Yeah, I think see, answering that question is like I have to go in and out of my body because it's like, in one way, yes, it is part of like, okay, I am, aware of, being older. And so I spend less time doing this, more time doing that. But then also being aware of, okay, time is a man-made concept. And so really when I do come out of my body around it, I can see like when planets are, in certain rotations or are slowing down or doing whatever they're doing, time does do something different. The concept of it, the real, the true like reality of it does something different. And my son, he has never been he has never really been within the conditions of the construct of time, not for a very long time because he's been homeschooled. He's not worked for anybody but himself or for me, so his concept of time depends on the structure that we have set, depending on what he's doing. But because of that, he can also observe that real etheric experience of like, yes, this is not just, this, I got to be here at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, something different is shifting, like energetically, he can feel it. Because he'll mention it. He'll just like, I can tell just in the way that he's moving, whether it's sleepy or whatever. Yeah, so it's just, and that's for me, I think has allowed me to be able to see it from like this, this very outer, watching him, because he also teaches me to slow down and balance. He's my Libra Scorpio cusp. So he teaches me to like, okay, either we're gonna like go for it, or we're gonna balance this out, and we're gonna slow it down, and we're gonna, figure out exactly what needs to happen right here and right now. Really, he really pays attention to the energy and what's going on. Peace.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so I think it's a little bit of all, all of it. But
Yeah. I was just wondering that because I mean, I feel like I didn't have any attachments to time or even like thinking about, things like that when I was a lot younger.
mhm.
I knew I had to be somewhere and I would just show up. But in the other words of like either with family or even like planting or gardening, like I just feel like it's just so different now.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, it definitely is. I think that's part of like the conditioning, right? Because when we're children and we're just doing what we're told to do. We really don't. The only concept of time is the time that other people put us on. And then later when we get to figure that out for ourselves, we either put ourselves in this rat race, or we either take ourselves out and we can observe it from a different perspective and say, this is where I can tap and tune into. This is where I rather not, this is where I can
Yeah.
slow down. This is where I need to speed up. Things like that. I mean, he's teaching me, to be honest. Like my son is teaching me. Like we know that we've been here lifetimes together before. Like I know, like I feel like lifetime before he was my father or whatever. And it just feels like, yeah, we just came in here together. All right, let's figure this out again. Like let's give this another go. Let's switch this around a little bit and let's see how this goes. But yeah, he's definitely my Libra, because I swear I would just be a freaking hurricane up in his leg all the time, like just torrential rains, just like whatever. And he just like literally he slows, he moves so intentionally to where I have to be like, okay.
Yeah, even just meeting him a few times, he's like one of the most intentional young men I've ever met. Like with his words and like the way that he's even like his like demeanor, like how it shines through like himself physically. Like he's just very intentional and kind of I almost thought he was a Taurus because he was like slower moving, as if he was just like, let me check this out, and then I'm gonna step over here or here, you know. But yeah, I see that. I see that in your son.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
his chart is interesting. I was just like, I don't even get it, but yeah, okay. Like he's a super old soul,
Hmm.
super old soul. No, yeah,
Yeah, his podcast is cool too. I checked it out.
yeah. He got his podcast. He's doing the YouTube and now, so he's putting the visuals on
Oh,
there
cool.
where you can actually see him doing his podcast now. He's doing that
That's
and
Very
cool.
cool.
other things. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's exciting
Yes.
to be young, to have all the possibilities, just to be alive and have all the possibilities.
I'm like, shoot, I switch it up all the time. Talk about we'll check back in 3 months again and talk about who we are then, who we are now. Constantly recreating myself. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
it gets a little confusing sometimes, especially, don't be like me and change your name everywhere you go. But I don't really do that. Just a little bit. I change a little bit of my name everywhere.
I still enjoy being playful, but I think it's my Leo sun, Leo moon. You know, like time, like when you're a kid, everything's your imagination. Everything's playful. Everything's, just like this like awe and wonder, and I try not to lose that. Some
Yeah.
days are harder than others, but I really try not to lose that. I'm just kind of a big goof.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today. Like as I was thinking about my lineage, right? My mother's, my paternal grandmother, my maternal grandmother, and how they aged. And when my paternal grandmother, she transitioned in '96, but she became really, really playful her last 10 to 15 years.
Oh.
I always remember her being super quiet, super reserved. And in the last 10, 15 years, she just became this super like playful, dancing, singing. And we all were like, what did she wait till like the last, decade to just like come out of her shell? I don't know. But it was just like this real, switch. And then my maternal grandmother, who has always been like that and still very, very, very sharp. at 86, but her body has slowed down a lot more, but her mind is like, and she still, if she could keep up with her mind, she would be there. And so I just, think about like embodying that. And so that's why I'm very intentional about my physical health as well as my mental health, and making sure that I can, have a long life, but also live it, in its fullness, and continue to like be childlike and dance and do things that I want to do. Because I know that I'm still gonna want to, roller skate and hula hoop and do those things. People crack up when they see me bust out my hula hoop out my trunk. Like,
I love it.
Where I go, like, got to bring that little child with me.
We were just talking about that, my mom and I think a lot of times when you know that you've been here before, that's like a whole nother thing. Like if you've lived many different lives, especially like many different dimensional lives, and you're on this physical plane and you're like so serious, then it's almost like you're dwindling your body away, because you've already lived that existence.
Right.
You've already lived certain things already. So it's like, I told her, I was like, Ma, we gotta, knowing what we know now, we gotta wake up every day and dance like it's nobody's business. Just turn on something that makes you feel good and dance and smile and laugh and just enjoy the process of just being here in this physical body here and now. And I'm learning that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't take life so seriously. Like, be intentional with life, but don't take it so seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that you got a hula hoop. I have a dinosaur puppet in my glove box. His name is Sweet Reese.
I love the puppets. Oh my God. We just need to go and just like dress up and go to the park and like bring our puppets.
Yes.
And
I tell you that I've gone through drive-through and ordered like with that puppet.
With your puppet?
Why not? Like you know whose day that
to
makes
lose.
when I drive through and
Yeah.
like, what? Like,
for real. Because they probably were thinking something completely different.
What the? Yeah, you probably make people day. Awesome. All right, y'all. Thank you for sticking with us, you all, on the live. Let us know, comment how you feeling, what you're thinking, what you're doing, any topics you all want us to discuss. Sometimes we're just vibing, so that's what we do. It's our wellness, our self-care, it's our business.
Oh, you can put filters on this too? Oh.
Done.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Oh my goodness.
Done.
There aren't any fun ones.
The energy is radiating out of you, Joy.
Now all you need is your puppet.
Right.
Yes. Reese in the car. He's in the sidecar. We're ready to go.
All right, y'all. Love. Appreciate you. Gorgeous Columbus for joining, being on here, taking the time. Love y'all. Peace.